What's up, you guys? It's come to my attention that a lot of people I know personally don't watch One Piece. So, while I play Fortnite, I am going to try to make it my goal to get someone into One Piece. So, starting off, I don't know why a lot of Westerners don't like One Piece, but they like Naruto. Uh, a lot of people I know think it's very childish, but that mainly stems from the 4Kids dub. So I'm asked that you try and keep an open mind, okay? And remember, One Piece is adventure first, action second. We got a guy right here. So, alright, I'll be the first to admit, you know, when I was a kid, I was all over One Piece because, you know, it had a really good intro. But whenever I got older, I tried to watch it again, and I ended up dropping it. Why? Because I think at this time, it was over like 500 something episodes. And I'm like, wow, that is a lot of time investment. And I also had to remember, back then, you know, anime did not have to start off really, really fast. Like, if you can remember Dragon Ball Z, there's literally a whole episode where Gohan is just running through the forest. Just running. That's all it is. He's getting chased by like a saber-toothed tiger or something, and he's just running through the forest. But if you guys can make it through that, then you definitely can make it through One Piece. Now, every anime that I watch, I like to give it like an interest point and a hook point. An interest point is pretty much what's gonna, you know, keep me watching this. You know, you might have like some connection with a character or something, but the story really isn't grasping you. And for me personally, the interest point wasn't until Nami's arc. And that's about 30 episodes in. Which, if you think for anime nowadays, is really long. But for back then, not so much. But the hook point wasn't until like the Alabasta arc, which was like level 50. But also you gotta remember, it's adventure first. And One Piece's world is so vast. There is a lot of world building going on. So just bear with it. For the people that say it's just for kids, One Piece deals with discrimination, you know, corruption, what is good and what is evil. It deals with all that stuff. So, you know, don't let the artwork and stuff distract you from that. Hmm. I'm gonna start with some of the pros. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I mentioned One Piece's vast, vast world. So pretty much you have your main character, and usually the way the anime works, the world kind of revolves around that character. But in One Piece, it's different. Everybody has their own story. There's always something go on, which it doesn't seem like it at first because our characters aren't that important that they need to know what's going on in the world. But as you progress and the character becomes more important, it starts showing the world more vastly. What's happening here? You got like secret marine meetings here. You got characters dying and wars starting here, and sometimes it might impact the character, sometimes it might impact another character. And there are so many characters with so much importance that you're gonna care. You're gonna find the character that you can relate with or that you just like in general. Which brings me to another topic. Characters. These are some of the most likable characters that you're going to experience. You know, One Piece has those tragic backstories to the characters that just make you love them, but they're not just tragic to be tragic, you know. They have a point to them that generally it fits into the world, which is what's going on. And every single character, Oda seems to make use for them. Like, you got these little minion characters who somehow end up playing a big role in one of the biggest events in the futures. And to me, that's the most amazing thing, that you can take the side throwaway character that, you know, any other anime would just throw this character away. Oh, he fought this guy. It's just a leveling up point. No, Oda takes this minor character and gives him a key part in some of the big upcoming events that happen. And to me, that's amazing. That means that, you know, you fleshed out your story and your characters and stuff like that. That every single person is going to have some type of use. You're not just getting to know these characters just to throw them away, which is actually probably really hard to do when you think about how vast this world is. Another thing that I like is, you know, the concepts of good and evil, you know, and discrimination, which a lot of anime that I've watched personally doesn't really even deal with discrimination the way that One Piece does, where you have a character who, you know, is just so evil, but then you find out that they've been discriminated against, which is why they're like this. And it just has this way of making you look at a character that you once hated differently and wonder if, you know, they had different outcomes or circumstances, then can something different have happened? So that's another thing that's great. And remember when I said it's adventure first? That's because it is. A lot of time is spent exploring the world of One Piece. Which, you're going to want to explore this world because it has some of the most amazing concepts or different worlds that you're going to see. There's so much detail in the world. You know, every single place that they go feels different to the next. You're never going to be like, oh, this was similar to the last island or something like that. So I give it props because, you know, no other anime has made me excited that they're visiting another place. You know, I've never been so excited to be like, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen here. Oh man, I wonder what this does. Oh man, you know, they have to learn about the islands and stuff, and it's really cool, you guys. One Piece, by far, has some of the most inspirational, on top of messed up moments that just make you want to cry. You know, it just has those moments that hit you in the feels. You're gonna want your characters to win, and when they lose, you're heartbroken. So you got to remember, you have all these episodes of world building, uh, emotions, characters, and stuff all coming into one. And it makes for a real exciting show because then you figure out, okay, how's this going to affect that character? How's this going to affect that character? And once you get in there, it is amazing. Now, let's talk about some of the cons. So the first con I'm going to talk about is the most obvious one, the artwork, which to me is a pro and a con at the same time. It's a con if you're trying to get somebody new, especially somebody of this generation, to get into it, because you're going to be like, what the heck, why does everybody look so weird, and stuff like that. Granted, it is less noticeable once they start, using more digital stuff. But it's still weird. It's weird, and the reason I say it's a pro too is because it kind of works with the world. Like, you have all this goofy stuff, and it just makes you think that anything in this world is possible. It makes it happen, especially me, where it's hard to disconnect. If something looks like the real world, I expect everything to be real, to abide by the laws and physics of the real world. So when Oda takes these characters and obscures them a little bit and makes them a little bit goofy, it makes me think in this world it may be like Earth, but it's different. Anything can happen in this world. So it's a pro and it's a con to me. Another thing that I consider a con is the pacing, because at some point they start using about one manga chapter per one episode, and it's generally two per episode. But I understand that because it's long and they want to catch up. But a lot of times it ends up them goofing off or doing something, which is fine because you get to do some adventure, but generally you want to get back to the story at hand. So I'm gonna make that a con also. Now I kind of want to give you the pros and cons of the fights. Now the fights are amazing. Every fight feels like there's something on the line. There's value in it, and emotion. It really means a lot. It really means that this fight that's going to happen, it's going to make a difference either for the characters or the world at large. So that's amazing. Now, if you're just getting into anime, you've been watching anime like Naruto or JoJo's or something like that, those animes tend to lean more towards strategic battling, which One Piece, it really doesn't have. There isn't a lot of strategic battling, but like I said, this is an older anime. You got to take it for what it is. But that doesn't mean that their fights aren't interesting, because they pour so much emotion into it. All the fights mean so much. It's cool to see people's new powers and stuff like that. So, it's only a con if you prefer strategic battling. But me, like myself, I still prefer strategic battling. But One Piece just offers so much in their fights that I still enjoy them a lot. So another thing about anime that I really like about One Piece is the power scaling. You generally know who's stronger than who can step up to who, how close it is, and all that stuff. We're in a lot of anime, like in let's say like Bleach. You don't know who the heck is really stronger than who, how strong the main character is versus these other characters and side characters and stuff. So that's what I enjoy about One Piece. Also, you can generally tell who's stronger or who's going to be a match for who and stuff like that. So you'll be able to keep up pretty well, and there isn't the super over the top, powerhouses. You're going to know who's the strongest character, and you don't have that problem with, okay, a character gets stronger and stronger and stronger to a certain point where they're just blowing up planets and stuff like that. It's a pretty set how strong the characters are going to be, so it really makes it more interesting when they're not just going to get some new transformation or power up when they need to defeat a character. Though those are very entertaining, but as I mentioned to a friend, the problem that happened with Dragon Ball Z is they keep introducing these newer, more powerful characters, and to combat that, they just gave Goku or somebody a new transformation, and it was just, wash and repeat. It was the same thing over and over. Still enjoyed it, but, it kind of messes up the story a little bit when you already know what's going to happen. The soundtrack is really good, though, like I said, compared to other newer stuff, it does seem limited at the time. But it's still really emotional at the right parts. I never feel like they're putting in the wrong OST with the imagery that's going on. So they do a very good job with that. Okay. So let's talk about the main character too. This is your typical shonen guy, whereas, the whole eats a lot and stuff like that. But I think someone else said he's very lovable. He thinks he can punch his way out of any situation. He really cares about his friend. He goes above and beyond for him, and you'll be able to see that. And this guy probably does some of the most badass stuff I've ever seen in anime. Like, when you talk about a fearless leader, this guy is fearless, and some of the stuff he does, it still shocks me to this day. To this day, in one of the fights he gets into, I'm still like, man, this guy's badass. So, if you like all that badassery and stuff like that, yeah, the show, it has it too. Overall, it's a really good, well-grounded show. It knows where it's going. It knows what it wants to do. It knows who its characters are. Its goal. And, I really recommend it, you guys. I would love to have more talks with Westerners about this show. So give it a shot. Like me, give it to the Alabasta arc. If you're not into it by the Alabasta arc, then it's just not for you. But I promise all the artwork and everything else, it will just start to blend in. So just give it a shot. But, I hope I convinced you a little bit. Sorry if it was a little bit boring. My first time doing this. I'm not that great of a Fortnite player either. I just really feel passionate about getting more Westerners, or just people in general, into some of these anime. Because it's really, really good, and I hate for it to, not be watched because of a bad 4Kids dub, or because of its artwork or something like that. But I promise you, you will not be let down by it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed me talking. If not, then I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I'm about out of stuff to say. So, yeah, enjoy. Thanks for watching, guys.